Hello listeners, myself Dr. Rachna Bhateria, Assistant Professor in the Department of Environmental Sciences, Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak. Today we'll study the module Social Forestry. Let's have the brief introduction. The word social forestry was coined by the scientist Westoby at 9th Commonwealth Forestry Congress during 1968 in Delhi. The term social forestry was first used in 1976 by National Commission on Agriculture, Government of India. According to the National Forest Policy 1988, India should aim to maintain 1/3 of the total land area under forest. The proportion to be maintained is 60% in hilly areas and 20% in the plain areas. The Indian Prime Minister has called upon the nation to afforest 5 million hectares a year and to evolve it as people's movement. Let's see the definition of social forestry. It clearly is defined as the forestry of the people, by the people and for the people, whose main purpose is to fulfill the needs of forestry by 5F principle, which are food, fuel, fodder, fertilizer and fiber. The objective of social forestry according to the National Commission for Farmers are social conservation to enhance the availability of fuel, afforestation, to encourage environmental conservation, recreation needs and generation of employment. Now see the mission the social forestry has: to carry out time-bound afforestation program based on the requirement of the land, afforestation of abundant jhum lands and mined areas, linear strip plantation of fast-growing species on the side of public roads, rivers, streams and irrigation canals, development of green belts in urban areas, development of shelter belts for fulfilling the purpose of shelter from wind and sun, raising flowering trees and shrubs, mainly to develop recreation forest for urban and rural population. Next is to involve people's participation in the conservation of forest, wildlife and environment, to create environmental awareness by celebrating various important days like International Environment Day, Wildlife Week, Van Mahotsava, etc. Practice farm forestry by raising rows of trees along the bund or boundaries of farm and fields. Afforestation on unutilized lands under the government, state, corporate or private ownership. Now let's see the classification of forest. Based on their function the forest has been divided into protection forests, national forest, village forest and tree lands. This classification was given by the National Forest Policy in the year 1952. Another classification of forest according to the National Commission of Agriculture in the year 1976 classifies the forest into protection forest, production forest and social forest. The production forest have been further classified into commercial forest, industrial forests, mixed quality forest, valuable forests and inaccessible forests. Now let's see the type of land under which the social forestry can do the plantation. They can be divided into government land, which can include roadsides, land along railways and degraded forest land. Another classified can be semi-government and institutional lands, which can include wasteland under panchayats, schools, colleges and land around the cooperative buildings and private lands. Now the components of social forestry. The social forestry can have the following components, which can include community forestry, farm forestry, extension forestry, agroforestry and recreational forestry. Now we can have a look over the benefits which can be derived from social forestry. They include generation of employment, capital gain, increase in the production of food, fodder and fuel, development of cottage industries, development of forest industries, regulation of water cycle, carbon sequestration, increased life of dams and reservoirs, flood controls and energy requirements. Now it can be clearly seen that the aim of social forestry is to involve the common people. So, one of the primary objective of social forestry is to involve common people in raising plantation to fulfill their basic needs of timber, fodder, fuel, fertilizers, etc. This will reduce the pressure on traditional forests. By implementing various schemes under social forestry, government has formally recognized the right of local communities over the forest resources. Social forestry also aims at involving and encouraging participation of rural people in the management of natural resources. As a part of this social forestry program, Government of India has sponsored a program, Plant Tree, to sensitize the people for their participation in plant a tree on every occasion. The given table shows the various common plant species which can be easily grown under social forestry. The table has been divided into 3 columns. The first column is of the botanical names of the species. The middle one includes the common names, and on the right hand side the properties of the various species. For example, Acacia catechu is the botanical name. The common name of this species is kher or katha, and the property which it can be used is it is easily suited for the denuded areas. Now let us see the role of monitoring and evaluation in the social forestry. Government of India and most of the state government and agencies involved in the social forestry put pressure to develop as effective monitoring and evaluation system. Hence, to fulfill this objective, most of the social forestry programs have been specifically made the provision for establishing monitoring and evaluation units, which collects and interprets the information on all the activities of social forestry. M&E system aims to improve the program or project implementation to that the objective are fulfilled. The progress of the program is also monitored periodically. Monitoring can be interpreted as the assessment of the efficiency with which program is implemented. It tracks both financial and physical activities of the program periodically. Evaluation can be ongoing evaluation and ex post evaluation. Ongoing evaluation, also known as the beneficiary monitoring, examines the direct effect of the program concurrent with its implementation. Social forestry scheme in India includes strip plantation, village woodlot, rehabilitation of degraded lands, environmental plantation, Kisan nursery, Van Mahotsava, biogas or solar cooker distribution, improved crematoria, special component plan, afforestation of barren hillocks, planting of fruit trees on the sides of public roads with participation of farmers and land labourers. Various prizes schemes have also been launched. Now let us see the challenges or the problems which the social forestry faces. Some of the problems includes lack of knowledge and awareness among people, illegal cutting of trees. The funds allocated to social forestry are sometimes misused. Unsatisfactory activities regarding social forestry have been reported many times. Implementation of social forestry is not carried out extensively. Now we should have a look over the future of social forestry. International agencies like World Bank, Swedish International Development Authority, Canadian International Development Authority and the US Agency for International Development is providing financial support to various state governments including Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, Haryana and West Bengal for promoting social forestry projects. Various efforts has been made by the Government of India such as sponsoring the program like Tree for Every Child, eco development camps where collegians are involved in tree plantation, free distribution of seedlings, saplings to farmers. Joint forest management. It is an initiative taken in the National Forest Policy in the year 1988 in which state forest departments support local forest dwellings and forest fringe communities to protect and manage forest, and shares the cost and benefits from forest with them. National Forest Policy 1988 recognized that the communities are central to the forest protection and management. This has led to JFM circular of 1st June 1990 and subsequently in the year 2000 and 2002 guidelines. The earlier approach of the government vested the control of forest in the hands of Forest Department of the concerned state, and it excluded the local communities from the same. Forests was also diverted to meet other uses. Hence, the National Forest Policy 1988 provided a new framework in recognizing the role of communities in the forest protection and management. Another effort can be made by the Indian Forest Act 1927, which emphasized the management of forest by the local people via section 28. Village forests, One Panchayat Rules 1931 in Uttar Pradesh also have the provision for the management of village forests by the local people. Now let's sum up this module. With the increased population, the dependence and cutting of forest has also increased. The forests are degrading and depleting eventually. The social people are the main sufferers of forest degradation who are dependent on them. Therefore, social forestry programs have been started by the Government of India to preserve forest. Various legal steps have also been taken and the laws are enacted to safeguard the trees and forests. For rehabilitation of forests, the Government of India initiated participatory approach, that is joint forest management, in the year 1990, National Forest Policy in the year 1988, etc. People at local level have been engaged and motivated to plant more trees. One Mahotsava are also arranged to plant trees at different places to increase the green cover of the land. Thank you.